Tia, how is it?
Honestly, I would say it's pretty bad. We have so much division within our own race. And of course, we're all the human race, but as African Americans, we focus a lot on skin color, social class.
Wow. Let's allow our guests to come in. What do you see, and anyone, please, what do you see as our biggest problem? Or can you all give us 3 big problems that we have amongst African Americans?
I would say that one of the biggest problems is that we're still holding on to the past.
Wow.
And if we really want to heal and grow, we have to be willing to let go of the past and be in the present. So we're still holding on to history, so much of the pain of our ancestors that we haven't even experienced or been part of, but we're using that as part in our hearts, and it's preventing us from moving forward and actually being able to embrace each other.
Danye, guess what? I think that's my biggest problem, is holding on to the past. And I know better. But Tia, you know that I will revert back and I'll start crying like a baby. Minister Maddox, how many times have I called talking to you about what has happened in my past? There's nothing I can do about it, and I have to move, what?
Forward.
Have to move forward. Someone else, could you give us your perspective? We need another perspective that's holding us back as a race.
Well, when you look at the past, any individual, you must be able to learn from the past.
Right.
So it is said in history that if you forget the past, that you can repeat it. So what we can learn from the past is, if you are an oppressor, you must maintain the spirit of an oppressor to keep down the oppressed. All right? And so we must recognize that we are no longer oppressed,
Right.
and that we also must not be an oppressor, even among
ourselves.
our own.
Tia, what did you want to interject?
And I agree. But what do we do when the past is still so much a part of our present? Even though we've transitioned, we've made huge leaps and bounds, there's still some oppression, whether it's underlying or above. So how do we move past that without being bitter?
Wow. And I would like to ask this, and someone please help me with this. There appears to be a glass ceiling. We're reaching for the sky, but for some reason it seems like that glass ceiling is knocking us in the head.
Yeah.
Can someone help me with that thought? Or am I misled?
I think that we create the glass ceiling in holding on to the past.
Right.
I think the only way that glass ceiling is broken is when we let go of it. But we have to, like Pastor on staff said, we have to learn from the past.
Right.
But we have to recognize that we've moved beyond that particular space. And until people are able to grasp the newness of life. And that's not to say that those issues aren't still out there, because they're very apparent. We live with them every day, but there are also new things happening. And if we begin to live in the now and learn from what happened in the past, I think that changes the glass ceiling. I think it can break the glass ceiling, or even destroy the whole idea of the glass ceiling.
Okay, so for someone such as myself, I'll bear that cross for a moment, that I just can't seem to break through the glass ceiling. I'm looking at it, and I've often stated, sometimes I feel like I'm in a glass cubicle. I don't want to breathe too hard. I don't want to breathe too heavily, because the fog and the vapor is coming up, so I just kind of suck it up. But I can't seem to get past it.
But as long as you think that way, the thing is, you are what you think and what you feel. So as long as we continue to think that things are terrible, things are hard, still be angry, hold on to, and think about what's happened in the past is going to continue to happen, as long as you have that idea, you're going to continue to create that in your present time. So the only way you're going to change your present is if you start changing how you think and feel within you.
Right.
Yes, things have happened, and I'm not saying that we can erase things that have happened, but we're allowing those things that have happened to hold us prison in our present time, which only continues to hold us prisoner in our future time.
Prisoner in our future time. Wow, we have 45 seconds. Haven't heard from Pastor Reinhardt.
Well, I agree. I think, as Danae said, I think as we think, and the scripture tells us, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. And I think some of the things that we've been taught from our grandparents, our parents, the way to think, and it's keeping us in this cage mentality and limiting us into our abilities, where I think God has created us for. So I think we have to change our way of thinking and change our young people's way of thinking.
Okay.
In order to break out of that glass, so to speak.
Thank you so much for that observation. We are going to go to our video conferencing section.